Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Lucy. So nice to see you. Happy Virtual Wednesday. So, today for Reader's Workshop, we're going to talk about being frustrated. So, did you know that when you read, you can become frustrated? So, we're going to talk about what being frustrated means, what it looks like, and what we can do to help us when we're feeling frustrated. All right, so here we go. When I Feel Frustrated. When I Feel Frustrated by Michael Gordon. And Michael Gordon is the man who is the author and wrote the words. It was a school day and Josh was preparing to leave. He tried putting on his jacket, but he couldn't find his sleeve. He kept trying and trying, but without any joy, he was quickly becoming a frustrated little boy. Oh, boys and girls, take a look at Josh and his face. Does he look frustrated? He looks frustrated to me. And, we've been starting to talk about envisioning and visualization. And wow, I can totally feel Josh's pain. Have you ever felt frustrated like that before? I know I have. Mama, come help me, screamed Josh as his face went all red. I can see that you're frustrated, but you can do it, Mom said. I'll hold the book while you find the arms. So once again, Josh tried. It was hard, but he did it. He stood beaming with pride. So, boys and girls, right? If you try, you take some time, maybe he learned some strategies that helped him feel good about being able to try and get it done. Later, Josh was playing with his big sister after school. Let's run races, Emma said, because athletes are cool. She set up the races. First prize was a trophy cup, but no matter how hard Josh tried, he couldn't keep up. Oh, so if we look at his face, he doesn't quite look mad, right? But he might look a little upset and maybe feeling a little bad. Of course, Emma won the cup and held it high above her head. Josh threw himself to the ground and cried. Dad came in and said, I know you're disappointed, Josh. Losing isn't much fun, but it's not the end, young athlete. You've only just begun. What does that mean? It's hard to be the youngest, but you won't be small forever. One day you'll be bigger and you'll run fair races together. You'll get faster and faster with every year that goes by. Winning isn't what's important. What's important is to try. You know, boys and girls, that's a good message for reading. So when you're reading, remember, you're not always going to be perfect the first time. And so good readers reread. And as you reread, you're practicing and you're becoming a better reader. So always remember, reading perfectly isn't what's important. What's important is that you try and don't give up. Dad smiled at his children and said, let's all play hide and seek. Everyone has a fair chance in that game, whether they're strong or weak. Josh was happy with that idea, and Dad played the game too. They had so much fun that Josh forgot the tantrum he threw. At the weekend, Mom took Emma and Josh to the park for the day. Josh headed to the climbing wall, and Emma ran off to play. When Josh went to the park, the wall was his favorite place. He liked to watch as kids climbed it at a very fast pace. Boys and girls, he looks very interested in that wall. Whew, my mind is going crazy. I'm wondering, what's Josh gonna do? I could make a prediction. I want you to make a prediction. What do you think Josh is gonna do? I don't want to tell you my prediction because I want you to make your own. He kept trying to climb the wall, but no matter how hard he'd try, he couldn't reach the top. So he'd give up, he'd get upset, give up, and cry. Sometimes his foot or hand would slip, but other times he'd get near. When he got past the halfway point, he'd be overcome with fear. Oh, have you ever done that? Where you get to a certain point and then you become a little more scared? Mom would hug him and say, "You'll do it one day, Josh, I am sure." So today he decided he'd give it a try just once more. He didn't look at the top once he'd passed the halfway point this time. He kept focused on the wall and just carried on with his climb. Before long, he was up there gripping the top of the wall. He was so happy that he'd made it without fear or a fall. He returned to the bottom where he gathered quite a crowd. They celebrated his success. Everyone was so proud. Look at his friends, his sister, his mother, right? Look at everyone around him. Their smiles are so bright. You can tell how proud they are of him. And Josh didn't give up. The end. I love the message in this book, boys and girls. I love that as long as we keep trying and not give up, that we can become better at something. All right, boys and girls, so let's talk about what does getting frustrated mean? So when you get frustrated, it means that you're feeling angry or you're annoyed because you're having trouble doing something like reading hard words, right? So what does annoyed mean? Annoyed means something that you just really, it's bothering you because you can't do it or you might be having trouble with it. So we have to learn to get past that frustration.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you get frustrated? So if we look here at some of the pictures, we can see sometimes, right, we want to just lay on the floor and kick and scream. Sometimes we want to throw things. Sometimes we start talking to our neighbor and disturbing them, right? We don't want to do that though, because they might really be into their book. So how do you feel when you're frustrated? Sometimes we feel mad or angry, right? Or sometimes we're very upset and we just feel like we want to cry. Or sometimes we do cry. Or sometimes we're just really annoyed and irritated, right? Ugh. So, is that okay? Of course it's okay. We all get frustrated. So, now, what does it look like, right? Sometimes we're like, ah! But sometimes we're like this little boy over here. See him? Oh, right here. He's crying a little bit. He's got tears in his eyes because maybe he's just upset and he doesn't know what to do. This guy over here at the top, he just threw his papers in the air because he just had enough. So, what can you do when you get frustrated? Well, there are some strategies that we can do. So, the best one for some of us might be to stop and take a deep breath, right? Take a deep breath in and let your breath out. I always tell my son that when he gets frustrated or angry, he should stop, take a deep breath, and count to 10, right? Or like our friend Mr. Owl over here, we could close our eyes and stop for a minute. Maybe you're going to think about something you love or something that you know you can do really well. Maybe you want to do neck rolls, right? Or move some part of your body, right? Because sometimes when we're frustrated, we start getting fidgety. But maybe you want to do something that you control. And maybe you just might have to ask the teacher for some help So boys and girls, here is a chart that we can use. So if I am frustrated, what are some frustration? What does it look like? So we're not engaged. What does that mean? It means we're not paying attention to what it is we're supposed to be paying attention to, right? So if we're supposed to be reading a book and we're frustrated, we're probably not reading that book. Maybe you're mad, you have a pouty face, or you got some a pouty face look, or you're teary-eyed, or maybe you get up and walk out of your spot and you're over talking to someone or walking around the room. Sometimes we have inappropriate behaviors, right? We talked a little bit about maybe you want to kick something, maybe you throw your book, maybe you're spinning your book, maybe you're fidgeting with something that you might not be supposed to be fidgeting with. So how does your body feel? Well, we've talked about that. Your body could feel mad, upset, fidgety, right? Meaning you want to just touch something or do things with your hands. Maybe you're moving around, you're spinning in your spot, you're getting up, you're walking around, getting a drink, you're doing all kinds of things. Your body isn't still, you might want to cry. So again, some strategies we talked about. You can take a deep breath, you can close your eyes, picture something that you love, take a stretch, roll your neck, right? Stretch. Ask your teacher for help. And sometimes, boys and girls, getting up and taking a drink of water for a second might be something you might need to do. If you're at home, there's lots of distractions. I know we've already talked about what you can do if you're distracted. And sometimes those distractions cause us to be frustrated too. So it's time to read, boys and girls. So if you get frustrated today while you're reading, try to use one of your new strategies that you learned. All right, boys and girls, thanks for bringing me into your homes today on Virtual Wednesday. So happy reading. Bye.